Jai Hind, dear students. Today, through this video lesson, you are going to learn the last different topics in the chapter Delegation of Authority. So, delegation of authority. What is delegation? You have to know the meaning of the term delegation. Delegation means transfer, and you know very well what is the concept of authority. Authority always vested in the top level of management. So remember, delegation of authority means transfer of authority, sharing or granting of authority to subordinates. So just read the explanation. It means the granting of authority to subordinates to operate within the prescribed limits. Granting means sharing of authority from the manager to his or her subordinate. And the manager who delegates the authority hold his or her subordinate responsible for proper performance of the assigned task. So, why we are transferring the authority? Why we are granting the authority to subordinates? To make them responsible. They are also can perform whatever may be the task performed by the manager. So, on behalf of the manager, the subordinates can be responsible to perform all the activities in the organization and to make sure that his subordinates perform all the work effectively and efficiently in expected manner. The manager creates accountability. So remember the concept delegation of authority. It means granting of authority to subordinates. So why it is important? It is important due to three elements. It is important due to three elements. One is authority. Now very well what is the meaning of the term authority? The power of taking decisions in order to guide the activities of others. Authority is the power to take decision. You know very well every time top level management will take the decision. So it is the power of the management. And why they are taking decision? To guide his followers, subordinates. Authority is that power which influences the conduct of others. So every time who have authority, you know very well the capability of political leaders, how they are influencing the others. They have power. So one element of delegation is authority. Second one is responsibility. It is the obligation of a subordinate. So responsibility comes from subordinates, authority from the top. So responsibility is the obligation of a subordinate to properly perform the assigned duty. So when an employee completes the task on time and the task given by the manager, then he or she is responsible. When a superior issues orders, it becomes the responsibility of the subordinate to carry it out or to be bring successful. So responsibility is the obligation. Use the word obligation of a subordinate. And the last one is accountability. You know the meaning of the term accountability. When a superior assigns some work to a subordinate and he or she is answerable, accountable, responsible to his or her superior for its success or failure. So that relationship is accountability and the relationship between the superior and subordinates. So remember, these all are the key concept, key elements in delegation. In the process of delegation, one person have authority, other one have responsibility, and the relationship between these two is accountability. Hope this idea, this topic is very clear. Moving to the next one, why delegation of authority is important in our business? How much it is important? So let us look at the first point. It helps in the reduction of executive's workload. It helps in the reduction. Wherever the authority is delegated, granted to subordinates, it helps for the reduction of workload, workload of executives in the organization. So it always reduces the workload of officers, the officials. They can thus utilize their time in more important and creative works. So when the authority is transferred to subordinates, the authority having people, officers, can do more innovative ideas. They can bring more innovative ideas. They have no need to stick on their routine activities, day-to-day activities. They can concentrate on creative ideas, innovative ideas to bring successful business. And the next one point that shows the importance of delegation of authority is employee development. As I said earlier, when the manager gives his power to his subordinates, assistant manager or any other officials, that employee is also getting opportunity to perform all the activities, all the duties of a manager. So automatically it helps the employee to develop his or her skills. So remember, employees get more opportunity to utilize their talent, which allows them to develop those skills which will enable them to perform complex tasks. So the second point of importance of delegation of authority is employee development. And the third point explains about quick and better decisions are possible. Quick and better decisions are possible. So, through delegation of authority, how it happens? The subordinate are granted sufficient authority, so they need not to go to their superiors for taking decisions. So, the time for taking decision after the discussion of superiors is not needed in delegation of authority. So they not need to go with the superior to take important decision. The subordinate can take his or her own decision. So that is why it helps in the quick and better decision through delegation. And the next point is high morale of subordinates. You know very well, when we are getting authority, our initiative and morale, that side always automatically increases. So, whenever we are getting the power, we are showing the maximum, isn't it? So, through delegation of authority, the subordinates are showing high morale towards the organization or towards the superiors. So, because of delegation of authority to the subordinates, they get an opportunity to display their efficiency and capacity. So, just go through an example. Suppose I'm taking an example of a school. Suppose there is only one principal in the school. In the absence of the principal, no authority is there to take the charge. The activities on that particular day will not perform efficiently. But if the principal is giving charge to another party, maybe a vice principal or a senior teacher in the organization, or any other people, any other efficient teachers in the organization, that is an opportunity for that teacher to bring or to display his or her efficiency, creativity, and talents in the organization. So automatically it will bring high morale of the subordinates. Next one is, and the last point of importance of the delegation of authority is better coordination of all elements in an organization, all materials, all workers' performance, their duties. It is possible through delegation of authority. As I said earlier, always delegation of authority increases the morale of the employees. So the element of delegation involves authority, responsibility, and accountability. It helps to define the powers, duties, and answerability related to various job positions, which result in developing and maintaining effective coordination. So who is responsible to whom and who have to respond to the questions of higher officials, who is answerable to whom. So all these things are clearly explained through delegation of authority. This helps in bringing better coordination in the organization. So, dear students, please remember all these points. Only five points are there that show the delegation of authority. We are moving to the last topic of this chapter: organization, centralization, and decentralization. First of all, we have to learn about decentralization. Then it will be very clear to learn the concept centralization. So, what is decentralization? What is the meaning of the term decentralization? Actually, it is the continuation of delegation of authority when the authority dispersed given to different levels, lower levels, that is known as decentralization. Sharing of authority or granting of authority from top to bottom and spreading over the lower level, that is known as decentralization. And what is centralization? We will learn in detail, but centralization is the concentration of authority at the top level only. Concentration means only the top level officials have the right to control anyone. But decentralization explains the authority of lower level officials also. So just listen carefully. Decentralization of authority means dispersal of authority to take decisions throughout the organization up to the lower level. So when the authority is shared to from top to middle level and lower level officials, members, then it is known as decentralization of authority. It implies observation of some authority with the top level management and transferring the rest of the authority to the lower level of the organization. So the important authority, decision making authority at the very critical situation and major planning activities are undertaken by the top level, but rest of the activities are done, decisions are taken by the lower level workers or members or officials of the organization. And this empowers lower levels to take decisions regarding problems faced by them without having to go to the upper levels. So, whenever there is a problem at the lower level, they can take their own decision very quickly without the support of the upper level. So, this is the concept, very important topic. You can expect a short answer question from this area: decentralization. Next, why it is important? Why we are sharing the authority to the lower level? So importance of decentralization involves, first one, it develops initiative among the subordinates. So always when the authority is shared to the subordinates, they will show another quality, initiative. They will take all the steps, all the activities, all the decision without the support of any other experts or higher officials. So remember the point, develops initiative among the subordinates. And second on point, it helps, decentralization of authority helps quick and better decisions. Already we have discussed in delegation of authority. So decentralization of authority. When the authority comes up to the lower level, the officials of the lower level can take decisions very quickly without discussing with the upper level employees or higher officials or peoples in the middle level and top level. So quick and better decision, better initiative among the subordinates, and it relieves the top executives from excess workload. So decentralization of authority, that means the top level will take only important and planning related decisions. All other activities are released to, shared to, granted to the lower level and middle level workers. So automatically it will reduce the workload of top level executives. Suppose when we are planning on program, if I am taking all the charges of different sections, the workload is increasing. When I am sharing the activities separately to different groups, automatically the workload will reduce. So here in organization also, decentralization of authority, it helps the top level executives to reduce their workload. Also, next point explains about through decentralization, better control is possible. So, better control of all the activities of each and every individual or sections in the organization. So, through decentralization, it is possible to evaluate the performance at each level, the performance of employees or any other element we can evaluate at each level. Why we are evaluating? If better control is needed, we can control all the activities. So, decentralization helps in better control of the workers. And the last point that shows the importance of decentralization is managerial development is possible. What is managerial development? How it is possible? It means giving authority to the subordinates up to the lower level to take decisions regarding their work. So, in this way, the opportunity to take decisions helps the development of the organization also. We have to think workers having creative talents are not vested in the top level. Sometimes there will be workers having creative talents and innovative ideas from middle level and lower level also. So when the organization head or the owner gives opportunity to the lower level workers also, we can improve the managerial talents or the management of the whole organization. So these are the points that indicates decentralization's importance. So the last topic from the chapter, organizing is, last concept is centralization. It is just opposite to decentralization. Just read the paragraph. As I said, centralization refers to the process in which activities involving planning and decision making within an organization are concentrated to a specific leader or location. Once again, centralization refers to the process in which activities involving planning and decision making within an organization are concentrated to a specific leader, maybe a single individual or location. When the authority to take decisions and to plan the whole activities in the organization is vested in the hands of a single individual, maybe the managing director or the owner of the organization or to a selected member, a board, then it is known as centralization. And what are the benefits? In a centralized organization, the decision making powers are retained in the head office, not transferred to the lower levels. All other officers receives commands from the main office. So in centralization, all other officers or subordinates receives commands, instructions from the head office or main office. Refers to the It refers to the hierarchical level within an organization that has authority to take or make decisions. So centralization refers to the hierarchical level, the transfer of authority within an organization that has authority to make decisions. So concentration of authority at the top level. When decision making is kept at the top level, the organization is centralized. So we can say when the decision making power is kept or vested in the hands of the top level, then we can say the organization is centralized only. So please keep in mind what is the idea regarding the different concepts in organizing. Please recall all the concepts what we have learned in this chapter. Watch all the videos again and again. Don't forget to share this video with your commerce learning students as friends. So thank you for watching all these videos. Once again, I would like to say it is only a summary of all the concepts you can develop. You can develop all the concepts in this chapter by reading the textbook, also by reading the web pages, watching another videos. Also, you have to differentiate each concept like delegation of authority and decentralization. What is the difference between centralization and decentralization? Then only the self-learning concept is possible. So remember, don't forget to miss all other videos. Keep watching all the videos of my channel. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share the videos. Don't forget to learn in thorough manner by listening all my words carefully. So thank you for the patience. We will meet with the next lesson from business studies. Thanks so much.